What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Power Book 4 Force Season 1, Episode 8. So, we pick up with Tommy making deals with the Hasidic Jews and with the other cartel family that he done ran into, and he is selling Delilah for $55 a key, okay? And he had to let them taste it and go through the whole rigmarole of how do we know it's the same stuff if it doesn't glow anymore. And Tommy lets them know, look, either you gonna trust me, you're not gonna trust me, but this is it and this is the product. So of course they gotta taste it, test it. They confirm that it's the right thing and give them the same high, and they buy each of them buy 3 keys a piece. So at 55 times 3 times 6, well, really just 55 times 6. We ain't gotta go through the extra step. Y'all get the point. Tommy's good. Tommy is doing really good. That's on top of the other bricks that he still has from the Serbians that he got. Remember, they paid him for. Tommy's good right now. So then we see Vic. Vic finally go to the doctor, at least what we see, and the doctor lets him know, listen, you do have stage 1, lung cancer, but we can work on it. We can fight it. There are things we can do. She said, listen, this doesn't have to be a death sentence. It's not like your wife. So this is clearly, the doctor is clearly somebody that knows the family, that knew what happened with his wife, if not her actual doctor. And she's letting him know, listen, you don't have to die. Like, this doesn't have to be your death sentence, but we do need you to jump on something quick. Like, we need you to make a decision now. Now, back over to Grandma's house that don't nobody know who the house belonged to. Don't nobody really know what JP is doing. I don't understand why every time we see JP and Tommy have a conversation, it gotta be at this damn house that JP is renovating. With what money? I don't know. Because every time we see JP, he talk about how broke he is, including in this moment. So in this moment, JP is telling Tommy he broke, and he once again is trying to get on. And Tommy's like, no, I'll give you some money, but I don't want you around this. So then finally, he gets his phone keeps blowing up, and it's people, it's the bill collectors looking for their money. So finally, Tommy is like, you know what? Like, how good were you in chemistry in schools? He was like, what? Now, personally, because, let me pause. Because him and Liliana had a conversation, and Liliana is letting him know, listen, the way we're taking these orders, we need to be working around the clock. Like, we need another cook. And so, she also tells Tommy, I got the recipe. Like, I know how to mix it. We can actually let the doctor go. Because I think Liliana is kind of getting soft on the doctor a little bit. Because ultimately, I don't think Tommy has any intention of letting that woman walk away. Either she gonna work for them or she gonna die. I don't think retiring is in her job plan. But they realize they need another cook in order to keep up with demand. In comes JP. So later on in the episode, we see Liliana teaching JP the recipe, and the two of them are flirting. Okay, now JP told us that he don't even like the girls no more, but he seemed to like Liliana. So I don't know. We're gonna see how that work out. But she's teaching him how to mix, right? He's like, and Tommy's like, listen, this ain't no joke. We ain't got stuff we can't afford to waste nothing. Either you got to get it right, or I can't use you. I'm not gonna let you down, Tommy. I'm not gonna let you down. So, back down to the barbershop that nobody is ever in. Diamond and Jannard are having a conversation while Diamond is shaving Jannard up. And Diamond is basically asking him, listen, you always griping and complaining about how I'm not doing things the way you would do them, or I'm not doing things the way you want things to be done. So if you were in charge, how would you do things differently? Now, I personally feel like this is a whole setup by Diamond. I think both of them have their reasons for doing what they did in this moment. Because all Jannard said was, man, I'm just happy to be in the game, man. I'm just glad I'm in the game, man. I'll just keep taking whatever scraps you throw me from the table, bruh. And Diamond is like, well, nah. Like, I really want to know. Like, you think I'm old school. You think I'm not moving progressive enough. What is it that you would do differently that I'm not doing? But he doesn't really get a straight answer because, like I said, Jannard is, playing, I don't know, massa, just, let me keep picking up the scraps that you throw off the table. Tommy and, I just had a whole brain fart. Anyway, Tommy has a conversation with Vic's daughter. And she's there again. They're butting heads about how this whole thing should run and what it should actually look like. And she wants a bigger role. She's like, listen, I feel like you basically are pushing me out. Like, you're pushing me on the back burner, and I don't like it. You know, I don't like feeling like I'm on the back burner. I don't like feeling like I'm not a part of it. And Tommy was like, well, what you talking about? Like, it's not that you're on the back burner. I'm just, you know, you came to me because you needed to learn some stuff, and I'm trying to teach you, right? I'm trying to teach you the things that you feel that I feel like you need to learn, okay? But I ain't trying to push you out. And later on in the episode, she tells him that she wants a bigger piece of the pie. He was like, okay, cool. I'll take the streets, you take the clubs. Like, we'll split it in half, you know. She wants to try to go to CBI, and Tommy is telling her, no, like, leave CBI alone. Right now, they having an inner struggle, and until they figure out who's really in charge and who's really on top, we don't really need to, no parts of that. We don't really need to involve ourselves in that, because we're going to get caught up in a turf war. And she was like, but, you know, they're professionals. They know how to handle it. And Tommy was like, no, trust me. Diamond is my man. I like him. I don't want to get him caught up in no mess. Let them figure it out. And once they figure it out, then fine. But until they figure out who's really running shit down there at the CBI, we don't need to involve ourselves. Well, she don't listen. And she ends up going down to CBI headquarters, aka the barbershop, to go talk to Diamond. And she's trying to make a deal with Diamond for, to let him get a piece of this Delilah action. And he immediately sees the game. He immediately realizes that she ain't in charge of nothing. He was like, well, if you can only offer me 10%, that means you got a partner. Which also means that your partner doesn't know that you down here trying to make a deal with me. Nah, bruh. I'm not trying to get involved in that. And again, that lets you know that Diamond ain't really as far off of the block as Jannard wants to think he is. Because I feel like Jannard would have fell for it. I feel like Jannard is so desperate to be a part of Delilah and be a part of this new venture that he wouldn't have even done that. He'd have been like, all right, cool. Let me get my 10%. Not realizing that if she down here offering you 10%, that means that she don't have a whole lot to offer you, right? Anyway, I thought that was cool the way Diamond picked up on that, and he basically ended up putting Juliana out the barbershop, child. He was like, nope, don't bring me in no bullshit. Now, down to the police station, Detective Bennigan get hemmed up by one of his co-workers who somehow, some way, then figured out that he's on the take from Vic and his family. Now, how he figured it out, when he figured it out, and who told him, we don't have those answers, okay? We don't know these things. But what we do know is at the end of the day, old boy told him, listen, I need 100 G's to keep me quiet. And Bennigan was like, I can't afford to pay you and still take care of my sister. He was like, I get it. You know, you got the sister. I know that your sister is kind of messed up. She got the bad drugs. I get all of that. But at the end of the day, please know that I don't care. Okay? I really don't care how you make it happen. Just know that you're going to make it happen. Now, honestly, I just feel like there's so many different ways that this could have been handled. First of all, I'm not admitting the shit. I don't care what he think he know. Unless he got pictures of me actually taking the envelope out of the hands of Vic or Walter or one of their cronies. I don't care what you think you know. I don't care what somebody told you. If you can't prove it to me, then that's it. That's all. Second of all, I would have immediately taken care of the problem. I'm not giving you no money. But whatever. Later on in the episode, Vic goes to Detective Bennigan's, and he want to know what he can find out about the whole Delilah situation. Who pushing it, who running it. And Bennigan tell him, I ain't narcotics. He was like, I really don't give a damn who you are. I'm telling you what I need from you. So then he gets this bright idea. Oh, well, if you want me to do that, that's going to cost you. That's going to cost you double. And Vic was like, I'm way ahead of you. And he gives him double what he normally pays him. So I guess that's his way of going to pay off the cop. But y'all know how blackmail work. He going to come back for more. Because that was way too easy. That was way too easy. You think he ain't gonna come back for another bite at that apple? You're gonna have to take care of that, bro. Anyway, so Claudia, her daddy summons her, you know, and she comes down, and he wants to know what she into. He said, listen, girl, what you got going on, okay? What do you really have going on? And please understand that I'm going to find out one way or the other. So you might as well go ahead. He said, and when I find out what you into, I'm going to crush you like a grape. I said, damn, I'm going to crush you like a grape. Baby. And Julia tells him, hit me with your best shot, baby. So Jannard wants to find out who is putting out this Delilah. So he put his boys on it to go find out who's putting out the Delilah. He said, listen, I got 20 G's for the person who can bring me back the information that I need to know, right? Now, while this is going on, Walter then summoned Vic to the house and basically told him, listen, I tried to find out what your sister was into, and your sister wouldn't tell me what the deal was, okay? Now, I need you to go and find out what your sister's getting into so we can punish her. And Vic was like, punish her? Like, we not kids. He was like, I know. That's why I'm going to punish her like an adult, okay? Basically, I'm going to handle it. And Vic was like, it's not going to work. It never worked before. It never worked when we were kids. It's not going to work now. He was like, listen, I just need you to get the information. Can you handle it for me, please? Thank you. Okay, go. Go. So then we see... Later on, we see him having a conversation with his conciliary. And he's telling him, he was like, listen, you need to stop treating these kids like kids. Like they're adults, they're grown. You need to start letting them live their own life and make their own mistakes. You know, they talk about Gloria and they talk about that whole situation with Vic and Gloria. And like, listen, they love each other. And you're going to have to accept it. At the end of the day, it's going to happen whether you like it or not. Like, Gloria's not going anywhere. And he finally says, you know, okay, fine. Like, I agree. Okay, fine. He said, call off. And it sounded like they had put a hit on Gloria. And he was like, I never put it on. Like, I already, you know, he was like, see, that's why, you know, that's why you're my conciliary or whatever. Now, down to the hospital, JP is visiting Grandma. And JP goes to the nurse's station to find out whose name is on her paperwork. Now, Grandma done been in a facility for years. Been in the hospital for however long she's been in the hospital, and now you decide to want to know whose name is on her paperwork. Well, while the nurse is trying to, you know, look up the information and tell her that Grandma codes and Grandma dies. Okay, Grandma dies. So when JP tells Tommy about it, of course, once again, this is his way in to trying to get the information on Kate. And Tommy was like, I'm not calling her. Like, listen, I know you want me to give a damn about Kate, and I know you want me to, you know, bring Kate in on this, but I don't give a damn about Kate, and I'm not bringing Kate in on this. I'm not calling her. That's it. That's all. We're not doing it. So he ends up giving Tommy, you know, a box full of, like, memories and, you know, forget-me-not type situation or whatever. And later on in the episode, we see Tommy going through it, but, you know, he's Tommy. He ain't gonna show no whole lot of emotion, right? It's Tommy. Now, the doctor is talking to Liliana. They are building this friendship. Friendship is a loose word, okay? I'm not gonna say they are friends, but they are building this situationship, right? And you know, she seems to. I feel like Liliana felt like she was starting to glorify what they were doing a little bit, and Liliana had to bring her back down and make her understand we are drug dealers, and at any point in time, at any given day, that could be it. That could be all, and she, you know, starts giving her battle wounds, you know, the scar on her face. She said, I've had my bones broken. I've been tortured. I've been burned. I've even been shot, you know, and she lets her know. She said, listen, the minute you forget how dangerous this world is, the minute you let your guard slip on how dangerous this whole situation is when you're gonna find yourself on the other side. You're like, that's going to be the problem. So Walter, in his last ditch effort, I guess, to figure out what's going on with his family, honey, he calls Tommy down, and of course Tommy don't want no parts of nothing Walter got going on. And Tommy is being his normal clown ass self. He was like, oh, this is a job interview? Oh, I didn't know. But he basically tells Walter, you know, what he can do and where he can shove it, because he's not interested in working with Walter. You know, he got something that he got Delilah. He don't need to work for or with anybody at this point in the game. So then we see, we realize that Diamond, he did his research and he didn't Google his new little girlfriend, and he found out that she is a reporter. And he asked her, he said, listen, what's the deal here? What's the joke? What's the plan? Because I know you're a reporter, so are you here doing a story or is this real? And she told him, well, it started off as a story, but you were never my intended target. I had somebody else from CBI that was doing an interview and they never showed up. But this with us is real. Like, I'm really digging you. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I believe that. Because if a real CBI soldier was going to go talk and do an interview with a reporter, would they have the meeting place at the same diner where Diamond has his own booth? That doesn't make sense. But whatever. We're going to see how it plays out. So then we have Tommy and Vic having this big showdown. And Tommy is telling Vic, listen, you love Gloria. You ain't really made for this. You don't really want this life for yourself. Get Gloria and get out of town. Like, go and start a new life. Do what you need to do. And Tommy even gives him a clean vehicle and said, listen, you just take this. Take this truck, take this vehicle, and get out of town. You know, and it seems to come out of nowhere, but I think Tommy really understands that Vic this ain't what Vic want. Vic really ain't about that life. Now, next thing you know, child Gloria is back in town. No, we don't know where Gloria was. We don't know how Vic knew she was back. But, baby, surprise, I'm home. And Vic tells her, listen, let's get out of town. I love you. You love me. Let's make it happen. I sold the land. I got the money. I got ourselves, I got a little, piece of change, a little piece of, and let's go. And so they decide that that's what they're going to do. And they packing up and they leaving town. Polly goes to visit Vic. And Polly drops a little piece of business in Vic's ear and tells him, well, Tommy came to see your father, and he offered him a job. And of course, Vic was like, see, I knew he was, I knew he was on that bullshit. I knew he wasn't serious. And I'm thinking, Polly, dropped a little bit of a seed, but you should have known that. I mean, I know you have no reason to believe Tommy over Polly, but Tommy ain't really give you no reason to feel like he was on that bullshit either. Anyway. It's whatever. But Vic and Gloria, they end up leaving town, honey, and they on their way to their new life. And y'all know what happened. Y'all saw that coming a mile away, right? The car gets shot up by the Serbs, and Gloria dead. Now, either two things are gonna happen as a result. Either Vic is gonna blame Tommy because Tommy started the war, or Vic is going to go 2 toes down into the drug trade and want to become the best drug dealer because he ain't got nothing else to live for. I don't know. We're going to see how that happens. So then we see Tommy run into Dmacc. Dmacc is following Tommy. And of course, Tommy know the boy's following him. And he tells him he want a job. He said, listen, I want to be down with your crew. And he said, what's up with you and CBI? And he was like, nah, I ain't really hanging with them like that anymore. Because remember, they tried to burn him. Or they did burn him on the Gary, Indiana deal. And he ain't rocking with them anymore. And so Tommy is like, yeah, I don't know if I can use you. But somehow they get on this conversation. He said, listen, I'm good with numbers. Ask me anything. And he got a whole Rain Man situation going on in his brain. Tommy's just throwing out random numbers. And he is like, oh, that's 5,672.55559. Oh, well, that's the square root of 617. And then Tommy gives him a word problem. Well, if Martha got 6 keys at $70,000 a piece, and Johnny got 7 keys at $60,000 a piece, and they only sell half of their keys, how much money do you make? And of course, he knew the answer to it. So Tommy was like, I might be able to use you after all. Whatever. So then, Jannard finds out who is selling the Delilah. His people come back to him and tell him it's the Pilgrims. As a representative of the public school system in this country, I am ashamed. The Hasidic Jews is who they had found out was selling the Delilah. And Jannard promptly pays them the $20,000. Now, it's 2 of them. And they say, well, how much is that a piece? Two going to 20. What? Again, I hang my head in shame at the public school system. Moving on. So Jannard decides that he's going to roll up on one of the Jews and he kills him. He tries to rob him of his Delilah and he ends up killing him. Now, what made him think that this man had the Delilah? I have no idea. But he got lucky because he did have it. And in broad daylight, he killed the Jew. Now, of course, that's going to come back on him. That's not going to be a good look. But he ends up taking the Delilah that he stole off of the guy, and he takes it to his Gary Connect, and he convinces them that this is the next wave, this is the new thing, and now he's going to be selling Delilah in Gary. I guess that's his way of staying under the radar with Diamond, so Diamond don't know what he really got going on. Okay. Then Tommy follows Dmacc home and he sees Dmacc burying his little. Y'all remember the little container he has with all his little keepsakes in it. Now, why he can't take that container in his house, where he even lives, we don't know. But Tommy goes and he looks in the container and he finds a picture of JP with a baby on his back. And of course, it don't take a rocket scientist to connect the dots. You know, well, maybe them two rocket scientists that thought that the Hasidic Jews was pilgrims, maybe those dots won't be connected, but these dots are connected, okay? And what we find out is that so Tommy has that information now. Now what he gonna do with it, we don't know. Last but not least, JP calls Kate. Now Lord knows if Kate show up, Tommy's gonna fucking lose it. But we got 2 episodes left. They taking a break next week, so we won't have an episode next week, and then they're gonna give us the last 2 episodes, and there's no more power for 6 months, y'all. No more power. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.